will be joining us remotely very, very soon. So while I'm waiting on these wonderful people to join me, yes, let me tell you a little bit about what's going on coming up. First, I'd like to say that the Orgasm Show is brought to you by IJS Media, ijsmedia.com, and there you are encouraged to vibrate on a higher level. All right. So let's see what is going on in the grand world of the Orgasm Show and Detroit's hottest duo, Erogenous. So we have coming up, and I'm going to hold this up so everybody can see. Erogenous live in concert. We are returning for Epic Nights at Burt's Marketplace Theater this coming Tuesday, July 12th. Show starts at 7 p.m. And the tickets are the low, low price of $10. You can get in and you can see a wonderful show that Diamond and I have put together, which incorporates smooth jazz and spoken word. All right. Epic Nights is brought to you and hosted by Detroit Hot Radio. And I'd like to thank all our friends over there, Thomas and Andrea and Andre and Harmony. Thank you so much for putting your faith and trust in us and giving us these opportunities. This is Erogenous's fourth show together as a group. Our first one was in December of last year. Then we were asked by Detroit High Radio to do one in April. We had one in June, and now here we are in July, about to hit that stage again, and our fan base is growing. And we are happy to be earning the title of Detroit's hottest duo. Right. All right. All right, so let's see. What else do I have for you? What else? What else? What else? Ah, we also have upcoming right here at WJZZ Cool TV an event that we are about to start really sharing with everyone, and that is Charjay, who was one of our recent guests and the author of A Ain't Always for Apple. I have the book, and I'm telling you, it's a steamy piece of literature. So Shar and myself have partnered to do a book signing, Meet the Author, and that is going to be right here at WJZZ Cool TV in the station. And that is on July 23rd from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. And we will have more information about that coming up very, very soon. So be on the lookout for that. You can find out more about that when you visit the Erogenous official fan page on Facebook. You can also get information on timellerby.com and ijs-media.com. All right. So that's what we have coming up. As far as events, Erogenous will also be at Burt's on August 23rd, which is a Tuesday, again at 7 p.m. And we're just keeping this flow going of all of these opportunities for ourselves and to partner with others who um, have a singular vision or a shared vision to do some of the things that cause us to get out in the community and help others either be entertained or by doing things in the community like Charjay does, helping others battle illiteracy. And Diamond and I have a very strong heart towards making sure that people are educated in ways that benefit them now in this time, in this day and age, when things for a lot of people seem to be falling apart, right? So we want to make sure that everything that you're going through, we're able to help you as much as we are able with our events, with our teachings, and with the teachings of others, and just the care that we have for the Detroit community and abroad. Okay, so if you'd like to join the conversation here tonight. Um, the number here is 313-355-6018. Again, that's 313-355-6018. And I am sorry, I do not believe I introduced myself at the start. I am, to all those among my colleagues, Mr. TIM. You can call me that, or you can call me by my government name, Tim Ellerby, and my website is timelb.com. All right, so you can go over there and find all kinds of information about the Orgasm Show and the band Erogenous, which is uh, the brainchild of myself and Diamond. All right. Okay, so I was having a pretty difficult week. I think there were things that happened at my day job. I call it my day job. It's actually a night job, and some issues with some friends, and I lost a friend as well. So it's been a challenging week. I also added 2 classes to my online streaming class service. I'll leave that right there for now. And that's fine. I enjoy that, but there were a lot of things going on this week that I I felt required me to take a moment and step back. And so I want to talk a little bit about the necessity of self-care. We talk about that a lot here on Orgasm in many different ways. But I'd like to talk to you about the necessity of taking a moment for yourself. Because at times we can get too busy, right? And we can either work too hard or play too hard, lounge around watching Netflix, playing video games and things, and we're always doing these things, and they take away from us taking care of ourselves physically, emotionally, spiritually. It's like we're doing too much or we're doing too little, but in doing either one of those, we're not really paying attention to what we need as people. There are a number of us who have gone through all types of trauma and abuse when we were growing up, and life happens. I get that. We never get the opportunity to stop and deal with those things. And I'll give a few examples in a second, but suffice it to say, you you go to school, you graduate high school, you get a job, you go to college, you get married, you start a family, you get promoted at work, and you have more work to do. You get divorced, and your kids don't talk to you. All of these things that are going on in our lives, and it's like, um, when do we have a moment to ever deal with the traumas that come from each of these things going on in our lives? So I would encourage everybody right now in the sound of my voice to take time to do self-care. If you know that you are going through some really tough situations, or you've gone through some really tough situations, some things you've never spoken to anybody about, some things you've never um, considered important enough to take care of, maybe it's time to do that. Life is going to go on. Your job will be there. The restaurants you pass every day, they'll be there. Movies will be there. Any number of things that you're used to will be there. But if I think we don't take care of ourselves and our traumas, those things that secretly hold us back from being all that we can be, we do ourselves a disservice. I will say that that actually became my story 2 years ago. nearly fatal, I'll say, twice over. Because I think from the age of 12, I've been going hard for everybody for a long, long time. Um, Up to pretty much raising my children and getting them out and on their own. And only then was I able to take some time for me and take a step back and do something for me. But it didn't occur to me that being on overdrive like that for that long a period of time had actually put my health in jeopardy. And I ended up in the hospital in, I think it was February of 2020. Yeah. And I had been feeling, pretty bad, and I went in to find out what was going on with me internally. And you know how they take your blood pressure at the beginning of your visit, and they were like, "Are you feeling dizzy?" And I'm like, "No." They was like, "Do you feel like you're gonna pass out?" Surely do not. And they was like, "We need to admit him right away." And I'm looking at whatever the number of the blood pressure reading was. Everybody in the room looked mortified, like they just could not believe that I was still even breathing. So I went in for one thing, and they found that, and I ended up getting admitted and having a surgery, and then it took them about 3 weeks to find the right medication for my blood pressure and everything. I'm like, okay, this is crazy, and I'd never been in the hospital in 50 years. I think I had stitches one time when I was like 7 or 8, so I'd never seen a hospital other than for like regular visits. Right, so I say all that to say that because I didn't take care of myself, it almost killed me. Literally, they told me you could have died from either one of these things that night if we had not admitted you. And that kind of gives you a wake up call, you know? We came into the pandemic shortly after that, maybe a few months after that. It was in that space. And I know that the news used to put up what I call the death counter of the number of people dying from COVID. Um, well, keeping it up all day. So I stopped watching the news because of that, because it seemed to me to be just a way for them to keep fearing people and to not have us value the time that we have, which by that point I was definitely valuing the time that I have alive, the time I have left, the people in my life who were important to me, how I would reach out to them and still do to this day to let them know all this stuff is going on, but we only have each other for a limited time, and I don't need a death counter on CNN to tell me that. So I wanted, like I said, ad- advise all of you, take that time for yourselves. Take care of your health, because this is the only time that you're going to have to do that, right? Okay. All right. You are watching the Orgasm Show live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Be sure to like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. You want to tell your friends about us, what we do here. And as always, thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. And if you didn't know, we are live streaming here every Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thank you so much. And again, if you want to call in, the number to the station is 313-355-6018. That's 313-355-6018. I'm going to take this phone out. There we go. Okay. Hard to move with that phone in my pocket. Sometimes move my leg around, get comfortable. All right. So now that I've given you my advice on taking care of yourselves, and I do hope that you will take that to take care of you. Don't wait for that. And I'm not going to get all preachy on you again. I'm just saying, don't wait for that, because we don't know how much time we have. You see stories in the Bible. This person was 30 years old. This person was 60. This person was 50. This person was 12. You don't know. Take a moment. Even ask yourself why you're here. And this is a very good question. What is your purpose? Why are you here? What are you doing? You know? I think there's a reason for all of that. All of the reason you're here. And we are joined now by the wonderful, the magnificent, the lovely. What else are you?
Late running ass.
She's a late running. Diamond Davis is in the house. Diamond, how are you doing this evening?
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Vibration to everybody. Welcome. So sorry to be delayed. Of course, as I was walking out the door, I have many other people I live with, and they think it's time for you to walk out the door. It's time for them to ask for a ride for somewhere. But no, it's not. It's not what it is. It's not what it is. It's time for me to go.
It's time to go.
For me to go. It's time for me to go. Okay.
It's like we're on the clock.
Yeah.
People.
Yes, indeed.
So to catch you up, I was letting everybody know about the significance of self-care and taking care of themselves, taking a step back and monitoring their health and past trauma. You know, the things you go through that you feel you don't have time to deal with. You need to take care of that because it will follow you until your old age, and it is not a healthy thing to hold on to all that stuff.
It isn't a healthy thing to hold on to all of that stuff. It, of course, if you do not let it out emotionally, it'll just manifest itself some other way, and you'll find yourself dealing with a lot of ailments. You'll find yourself sickly, not as strong as you're supposed to be. Your immune system won't be as strong as it is supposed to be, and it is often because of things working together, right? Symphonically, if you will. And your symphony can either be a beautiful, harmonious symphony, or your symphony can be really shitty. It can be a complete clusterfuck. And so,
very bad sheet music.
very bad sheet music. And so it is just up to you to take care of yourself. You know, be blessed and understand that you are blessed when you are in this body, your meat suit, this earthly form, right? It requires certain things, and so during this journey, if you hope to be healthy, you need to comply to certain things. Get you some sleep, okay? Folks be talking about you can sleep when you dead. No, you're actually dead. That's what that is.
Right, that's what that is.
That's what that is. Okay, so you need to sleep, especially as we get older and we keep grinding. It affects your mood, not being able to sleep. It affects your immune system as well. It affects your libido. It affects your metabolism and, of course, your productivity. You have these lows, this time during the day because you're not sleeping regularly. During the night, you'll have times where your energy will dip during the day, and you'll get grumpy. And if you don't have good eating habits, you'll get chips and candy bars and 5-hour energy drinks to help manage those dips. And
they would get you wired and then drop you down like, I'm sorry, the drugs they are. It's but like it's fine. You can be high like that for a minute from the caffeine or whatever, but then it drops you down, and it makes everything worse.
Right. It's not good for us.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. It's not good for us. It's just not good for us. It's better to maintain a more healthy way of living, and then that whole thing comes from gradual changes. That's how you make that change. You just don't one day say, well, I'm going to live healthy because I need to live healthy. Yep, you should, but if you haven't You can't expect yourself to turn over a leaf overnight with things that you've been doing. You're a human. And so we have certain idiosyncrasies to us and in our humanness.
Mhm.
And so we have to practice and get ourselves in a routine and drop things in gradually. Make them manageable. Bite sized changes, if you will.
Bite-sized changes.
Bite sized changes. Yes. That's what you have to
Okay, I'm gonna put it over there. It's not doing anything.
have. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. How about that? Tingling,
there it
ding,
is.
ding, 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 ding.
Like you pushed the red button, there it is.
Ah.
Technological genius, I'm telling you, that's why I keep you around, because I don't know what the heck I'm doing.
All right.
Technology
We
is our
try to
friend.
get a little power up in here.
Bless God, won't he do it?
Yes. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All
You
right.
turned the fan on. You just all kinds of hero today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Go get you some
outside.
Cinnabons, which you are not allowed to throw at me.
Ooh. I said I wouldn't throw a whole
You're so
one.
nice. Yeah, you won't
Not
throw a whole one. Don't-
Not a whole one. That's a waste.
If you
of
throw
good
a half one,
Cinnabon.
I'm gonna catch that bad boy and eat it with some extra frosting.
You gonna need the frosting because I'm not throwing the frosting out.
Okay, so that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right.
I wouldn't either.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
So, of course, we want to stimulate you so that you vibrate on a higher level. One of those ways that we can do that, of course, is I was just talking about treating our bodies right. We have a little segment of the show that when you remember to do it, I guess that's my responsibility. It's called Freaky Fruits and Sexy Spices, right? And you will either do a freaky fruit or a sexy spice, something that will help your life.
Let's do the sexy spice. I don't think I've had one of those in a while.
A sexy spice. All right. Well, tonight's sexy spice is brought to you by turmeric.
Turmeric.
Turmeric is a favorite for many because it's high in antioxidants that soothe muscles and irritated tissues, makes you feel good, helps you to relax, right? It has also been used to help ease urinary difficulties in prostate patients.
Indeed.
Fellas,
You heard what she said.
you hear me talking. All right. A nice natural way to be able to, keep that little situation cleaned up and through there, right? I know it's difficult. It's difficult to manage all the different things. Okay. All right. Also, adding herbs to your diet, of course, is in supplements help be healthier in your life, and it helps. This particular turmeric helps to improve your male organ function.
The organ function. All the organs, or is there an organ in particular?
Your male organ function.
So the male organ function. Okay. All right. I see where you're going.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Helps, tissues and blood
Blood
vessels.
vessels and the pressure and
Okay. Kind of stuff. Come alive, come alive, come alive. Bling, 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 bling.
so it's like nature's Viagra. I get it. All right.
Turmeric is wonderful. Also, turmeric helps with, just aging, or not aging, rather slowing aging. Okay, there we go. Because we don't want.
So
wanna
would you say
enhance
this is
aging.
something that people could cook with, or is it something that they need to take in pill form?
So they sell it in a pill. It's also a wonderful spice. I make this little turmeric rice, which is really, really tasty. It's a savory spice, so it's delicious. But it can also be taken in tea. People who come from Asian culture will take turmeric, make a turmeric tea, or people Asian, period. So Asia, that's just not okay. That's just a whole lot of stuff over there. Anyway, yeah, we'll make a turmeric tea.
Okay. I think I heard about that one actually. The turmeric tea.
But for those of us who have fast lifestyles and on the go, ain't got time to sip tea.
You're gonna take your 10 minutes.
Right.
You know, I'm always telling Diamond that she needs to take 10 minutes because she is always on the move. This is probably the hardest working woman in the Detroit metro area, I swear. So, yeah. Y'all need to call in and tell her that she needs to listen to Tim and take her 10 minutes. 313-355-6018. That's 313-355-6018. And you are watching the Orgasm Show live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Be sure to like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. The Orgasm Show streams every Friday evening at 7 p.m. live on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. Turmeric rice. That does sound kind of good.
Yeah, rice.
We had that with baked chicken, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's actually really good. With some baked chicken, it'll add some nice little punch to the rice so that it's not bland. You know, make sure you season up that chicken. Use some good natural herbs when you're seasoning up the chicken. That means more than salt and pepper, ladies and gentlemen.
Seasoning salt.
Seasoning salt.
Right.
It's more than, it's going farther than that, even more than just seasoning salt. Please. You know, there's these wonderful other things called onion powder, garlic powder, Italian seasoning, oregano,
basil. It's like the things that you see 50 million spices on the shelf, and you pick the same 3 every time you go.
Yeah, and then they have the seasoning mixes, which is also wonderful. And you don't even have to think. You can just look and read what you think some good tasting chicken might be like. Ooh, I think this savory butter chicken might be good.
I think it might be.
Grab that. Change it up. Stay healthy, but you know, change it up.
Buy a cookbook. Try that.
Change it up.
Don't go by what you've always known. Try something new.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like doing it from the back in the bathroom stall. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, just to try something new. I'm just throwing something new out there in the world. I'm just, making a suggestion.
I think everyone appreciates that. I certainly do. Right.
Or
just as long as it ain't bungee jumping. I told you I ain't doing it. That's too new.
It's like I'm not doing
wingsuits off the mountain
team or whatever that's called. What is that called?
I think it's it. You jump
body surfing.
You jump off the mountain in a wingsuit. Yeah. It looks safe. I'm gonna send you a video of it.
Sounds safe. I'm gonna put on a suit with some wings and jump off the mountain.
Yeah. You don't flap on, you glide. If you flap, it might not go so well.
At least I have a thing strapped to me if I want to go bungee jumping. Or if
I will bungee jump over water. I will not do it over a concrete slab. Because if the rope breaks and you hit the water, you might actually survive.
What if something happened to this wing if you...
Don't punch a hole in it. Be careful. You got to inspect all your gear. Like, you talk about jumping off an airplane. You got to inspect your parachute, right?
Yes.
You inspect your wingsuit. If it got a hole in it, you go tumbling down the mountain. Still, you might make it. I'm telling you. It's just a thing about me and flat Earth. I don't know how I feel about that. I'll tell you what. If you go jump off of a mountain with the wingsuit with me, I will jump out of an airplane with you. And y'all heard that here first. And I told you, my sister been trying to get me to jump out of a plane for years. I will not do that.
Well, y'all heard it here first and last, because
I'm
never putting on a wingsuit.
I was going to say, you got to wear
Never.
a wingsuit. Right, there will be no... There will be no jumping out of planes from him. Then that was the last great hope. Never.
Well then,
Well then,
that's what you call settle.
that's good friendship. That's what that is. That's good stuff. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have
Aye, 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 aye.
it.
Right? Knowing our boundaries, right? And
Yeah.
not pushing each other beyond it.
Yeah.
Dang it, I thought okay. Um, that is a wonderful display of friendship,
It is.
love, respect, all that kind of stuff,
For
right?
sure, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Beautiful things. So,
So,
okay, so we were supposed to be having a wonderful, wonderful, sparkling business come in on this evening. However, it looks like our guests will not make it on, and that's just
Oh.
fine. So hopefully, we'll be able to reschedule. We keep, needing to reschedule, but life happens.
it does
And
happen.
it is what it is. So, a couple of the things that we were going to be discussing, of course, particular chakra vibration that I feel, this particular young lady, sort of vibrates through. But I also wanted to have this conversation of like chakra elevation as you come through the range of chakras. I feel like when you're living from these different areas, and as you elevate spiritually, so this sort of where you're living from as far as your chakra frequency. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who may or may not know, I don't know, this is the like aura gasm show. Aura meaning, yes, that energy emanating from you, spiritual energy that everyone may not be able to see. And we all have an aura that we are emanating. Some of us have changing auras. Some of us carry multiple aura colors at one time. Many of us usually have a standard aura that we're kind of like vibing at on a regular basis, right? So
Right.
cool. Yeah. Okay, so back to my original train of thought. You have these energy centers in your body called chakras. And these energy centers, there are lots and lots of energy centers in your body, first of all. Lots and lots of energy centers. So you have these major ones that are flowing seven, some practice nine, but I'm just going to talk about the seven.
Okay.
And then, they all break off into other little spaces, and you have these other energy lines called meridians and all this other stuff. But anyway, we're gonna stick
Break it down to the 7.
we're gonna stick it down to the chakra. So the first chakra, your base chakra, your root chakra, right,
Mhm.
is red. So it signifies or is connected to survival, having your basic needs met, um, and things like that. And when you are sort of struggling and when you're first in the world and trying to figure your way out, those are the most important things that you are usually trying to secure. So it seems like it makes sense to be sort of in that space, growing and learning from that chakra. And then the next one, as you continue to grow in life,
Mm-hmm.
the next one is your sacral chakra, which is orange. So your sacral chakra is connected to creativity, sexuality, um, and that particular energy expression. So you can imagine as you get to be a teenager and you become sexually active, of course you're usually creatively expressive,
Right.
or um,
Some more than others.
some more than others,
Yeah.
right? Right. Or you have something going on with you. And then the next one is your solar plexus. So your solar plexus is yellow, and it is a place of personality and confidence. So, of course, as you continue to grow in life and you get older,
Yeah.
and now that you've kind of gone through the stages of gaining just pleasure, you are more comfortable with yourself. You have greater confidence and
Maturity.
a little more maturity,
Right.
a little more
A
personality.
little bit.
You're radiating from there, right?
Yeah.
Now the next one is your heart chakra, right? Wow.
Yeah, this one sounds important.
It is, because it is love, right? And there's usually two colors associated with the heart chakra, just as there are sort of two vibrations of love that we identify. There's romantic love and there's agape love, right? And so, as you grow in life, you actually begin to learn more about those things, and you learn to appreciate those love because you start to have kids and all that kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so there's this growing diversity in learning and understanding the heart chakra. Then above that is your throat chakra, which is light blue. So now as you're learning, having these relationships, they get more complicated as everyone gets older, right? What is most important is communication, right?
Right.
Being able to communicate not only to manage the relationships that you have, but also to manage your own peace.
Well, I'm glad you bring that one up. And this is, interestingly enough, something that I've been observing this week is that communication has to be there, and it has to be strong. Some people go, if somebody pisses you off, you give up on them. But you don't need to do that if everybody just talks and lets the other know where they are, where they're coming from, and to hear. You know,
Yes.
you know, a lot of people say, you and Tamika, excuse me, Diamond, y'all work together very well, and y'all always, seeming like y'all having a good time on stage and everything. How do you what's the secret? I'm like, grace. I think we're quick to forgive, and yeah, I do get on her nerves sometimes. So we're quick to forgive, and we talk things through, whether they're easy or not. And I think that if more people were to understand that, they would probably be, in this case, like more in tune with that throat chakra. And I'm fascinated to be finding out the different levels and then the different things that go with each one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge one for me because I think we all want to be understood,
Yes.
but we need to also take a step back and understand. So
Yes, that's the two parts of communication. You can talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, but you also need to be listening to what the other person is saying. And communication it can be a bit of a dance sometimes. So sometimes it can be a whole lot of really quick step back and forth, and then sometimes it's got to slow down, right?
yeah, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Right.
I guess like don't expect everything to just be like all the time, every day, every second. Pace yourselves.
Right, because sometimes you have a busy day, and sometimes you have slow days.
What was it? The orange one that was creativity and everything?
Yes.
Okay, so if you're an artist, you won't paint all 50 of your masterpieces in one day.
No.
Spread it out over the course of some time. This all seems to me to be reflections of who we are as people and what each one may be something like you said we deal with at certain times of life until you
Right.
get to a point where you're just totally balanced with using all of them. I'm young, I'm still learning it,
Right.
but it actually makes a whole lot of sense because too many times as human beings we go, well, this is what they taught me in school on how to live, and I don't like it because I'm sure there's more to life. Well, you're right, there is more to life, but you don't take the time to find out what that is. You're just going to go by what you were taught,
Absolutely.
which is very limited.
Absolutely. But that is so true. I spent, I know, over 40 years on the program of other people expectations, not realizing that it was okay for me to have my own expectations. and to live by them. And that's the only way that I was really going to be happy, was to live by my own expectations. But it took me a long time, long time
Long
to
time.
realize that yes. After the children and after the marriage and after, oh, and after. Took a very long time. But I'm grateful now for clarity.
Yeah, me too. And it's like I don't look back at any of the things that happen in life as bad. They were necessary to get me to this point where I could continue my training and my learning, and that's always a good thing. Always.
Well, that's right. And they're all the wonderful pieces of furniture that help to decorate the rooms of my life.
Yeah.
Yes. So
So,
that's what that is. Okay, so in case you didn't know, you have just roamed into the Orgasm Zone. We are streaming live every Friday night at 7 p.m. on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station
in
in
the
the world.
world,
Be sure to like,
follow,
subscribe,
share, and comment.
all that good stuff.
Tell your friends about us.
Tell your friends, tell your friends, tell your friends. And if you miss us live, you can always check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. All that good stuff. So be sure to check us out. Tonight's show is brought to you by IJS Media. Check us out where you can express what you can imagine. They can be checked out at IJS Media Full Service Media Company, as well as Essential Ascents, which is sponsoring Project Wow.
Wow.
Yay, right?
Mhm.
So Project Wow has some events going on, ladies. Ladies who are into feminine empowerment. Of course, we are having a vaginal vitality series. Happy healthy vaginas.
Happy and healthy.
Happy healthy vaginas. Happy healthy vaginas. I like saying
She does like saying that.
that. Anyway, um, in our series, we're going to have a Paint with Passion event coming up on Sunday, July 31st. It's going to be on the east side, 4500 Van Dyke at the Nest at 4 p.m. You can get your tickets on Eventbrite. Ladies, please join the Project Wow Facebook group so that you keep up to date on different events that we have going on. We'll, of course, be having our virtual sisters circle and a writers workshop over at the Artist Village coming up in August. So stay
Right.
tuned.
Good
Stay
news.
tuned.
Happy news.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
It be a lot of stuff on my mind. A lot of stuff on my mind.
A lot of stuff on her mind. Lot of stuff. So we are also known as Detroit's hottest duo.
Yes.
That is the amazing band Erogenous. And we will be performing this Tuesday night, July the 12th, at Burt's Marketplace Theater. Show starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tickets are $10 at the door.
Check us out. Come
Check us out. This is Smooth Jazz and
Check us
Spoken
out.
Word Night, and I am super excited because when Diamond and I met, I was taken aback by her speaking voice, as many of you have been listening to her speak this evening. But imagine that, but all the time. But anyway, so I'm like, let's work on the project together. So we worked on the project together, and I was like, this is a great project, and her speaking is awesome. We should be a band. And I said, you want to be a band? And she said, I can't sing. And I said, I can't either. So we decided to give this thing a shot, and we've gotten to the point now where we've found our strength and our rhythm. And you really need to come out Tuesday and listen to Diamond speak her truth. You will be blessed. I'm telling you. I forget I'm supposed to be playing sometime, and I'm just like watching her talk. She's like, "Could you play some music, dude? We're here to rehearse." But seriously, uh, it is a joy to be in this endeavor with her. And this is only our fourth gig together, but we learn fast and we know we have a lot to offer our listeners and our viewers and our fans. So, for those of you who are already following us, congratulations. For those of you who don't know, you got to come out Tuesday. You will become a fan. Trust me on that. We are ready for our prime time special.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun,
Dun, dun,
dun,
dun,
chicka, chicka,
dun.
chicka, chicka, boom.
Epic
Dun,
Nights
dun,
at
dun,
Burt's
dun, 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 dun.
Marketplace Theater is brought to you by Detroit Hot Radio, and we
Absolutely.
are happy that they are giving us this opportunity. And yeah,
Yeah, so check us out.
check us
Check it,
out.
check it, check it, check it, check it, check us out. Please, please, please. It should be a really good time for us all. So, pew, pew, pew.
Pew, pew,
All
pew.
right. So, yes, before that little commercial break that we just took there.
After these messages, we'll
After
be right
these
back.
messages. Da-da. Okay, so the next chakra is your third eye chakra. So your third eye chakra is between your eyebrows, the middle of your forehead, maybe just a little bit of somewhere in the middle, between your eyebrows, um, on your forehead's dominant color is indigo blue. And that chakra is, of course, connected to your intuition, right? Your ability to tap into some other things, right? A little foresight,
Empathic ability.
right?
Okay.
And that stuff is important after you've mastered, your survival situation. And then you master, or explore your creativity and your pleasure centers and sensuality. And then you explore and express your personality and you begin to grow in confidence and the way you interact and begin to explore love and the expression of love, receiving it,
And
giving
giving it,
it, yes.
borrowing it.
Yes, yes, some folks be borrowing love. Don't be borrowing people love out here.
No. Share like talking.
Right. The next one is then you begin to, as you manage that love, you also begin to understand the importance of communication, and so you manage that piece too, so that you continue to maintain those relationships. And then you grow into tapping into your intuition, and your intuition helps guide you. It helps guide you in those relationships. It helps guide you in your business decisions. It helps guide you sometimes when you're just walking through the house, right? When you really begin to open yourself up spiritually, intuition begins to come in and begins to take um, a wonderful side seat,
Mhm.
right? It becomes a great co-pilot.
A great
A
and
great
effective co-pilot.
Yes, an effective co-pilot in your journey as you continue to navigate through life. And then your crown chakra, highlighted by the color lavender,
Ah,
right?
which is kind of
Like
purplish, right?
purpley.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of purple, right?
Yeah.
You like purple, right? Yeah, you like purple.
I love purple. Yeah.
Come on back. Come on
Okay,
back.
right. Okay. So this taps into, of course, your otherworldliness, your connections to the other bodies that you are connected to, right?
That's your work. Come on.
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
you got space.
I'm sorry. Your spiritual sort of cosmic connection, that's where that is. And so as you evolve in all these ways and you begin to use your intuition, like that's the next natural evolution, actually. because you're already in your using your intuition. You're already tapping into that. And
Right.
so, beginning to explore, express, and really become aware, and then surrendering to it. Not in a way that you become helpless, but in a way that you become empowered, because truly, once you're able to tap into that,
Mhm.
like that first mind
Mhm.
is amazing. Every time you should listen to it. They say listen to your first mind. That's what it is. That's what it is. And it's absolutely amazing. It knows stuff way ahead of you. You know how you are about to leave the house and you'll look at that odd item and something will tell you to grab it and you'll be like, I don't
Nah, I
need
don't
that
need
today.
that.
What
And
is
then
going on? That's your mind
5
telling
minutes
you,
later,
yeah, you don't
I
need it.
needed that.
That's yeah. And then as you get out on, and sometime throughout the day, you realize, damn, I knew I should have grabbed that, but you didn't.
Lessons
You
learned.
didn't know you should have grabbed it, because if you knew, you would have. Okay,
Lessons learned.
that's right.
Okay.
So that's your intuition. You need to tap in, tap in, tap in, tap in, tap in, tap in. So today's show was really, really much more connected to the aura orgasmic side of what it is that we like to express and explore here. Okay.
Well, we shall continue that journey upon next week.
Yep. Upon
Next week.
next week.
7 p.m. live right
Right.
here on
Right.
WJZZ Cool TV, and that is the coolest station
That's right.
in
the
the
world. I am your host, Anita Dickens.
And I am, what was my name again? Lubricant. Okay. Do join us again next week for the Orgasm Show. Thank you so much for coming tonight and watching and viewing, and we hope that you are indeed vibrating now on a higher level.
Yep. Yep. Follow us on Instagram. I'm Diamond D313.
I am Temperance_music on IG.
See you next week.
Good night. Go say it one more time. I have to bring some